About 18 years ago, one of my daughters, who was at the time 6 years old, asked me a very fundamental question, that what am I doing for her future? And I answered her the typical way any father would, that I go to work, I try to provide for you, I provide for my retirement, our family's well-being, and so forth. And she asked a more fundamental question, and it was very deep. She said, yeah, that's great, Dad, but what about the planet? What are you doing to make sure that this planet is worthy of living when I or my children grow up? And that discussion with my 6-year-old changed my life. I deployed all of my energy, even prior to starting the Alpadano group of companies, in how do I make this planet a better place tomorrow than today?
The noise, hear the voice of God who made us well, as she whispers to you, let it break through, and know your black is beautiful. Nehemiah's brilliance, Nelson's resilience, and with Harriet's strength we move. We are Ruby's daring, our voices worth sharing, like Billy and Mahalia. Sing it loud, sing it proud. Oh.
I think when we can find leadership that is not based on programs and activities that they have created in the past, but that is grounded on principles of what is institutionally anti-racist, what is fundamentally racial equity, what does it mean to pursue social justice in our research, our teaching, and our service engagement. That has to permeate and start at the leadership level.
It's not just stopping the bad practice. It's how do we make somebody whole after generations of these bad things have happened.
Every single human is part of lots of systems. We're part of our education systems, our neighborhood systems, our governmental systems. So the individual choices that we make have to do with resetting a culture for inclusion and equity. We're not asking you to ask about what those people should do to improve the world. It's what you can do. How would you like to be treated? What would matter to you on your block, in your neighborhood, in feeling welcome?
We need everyone to see themselves as an instrument of liberation, right? The same way how the bankers invented this notion of credit and then decided these people weren't going to get credit and then deny people loans because they don't have what we didn't give them known as credits, right? A full circle right there. The bankers themselves have the opportunity to work doubly harder than your predecessors who kept people out. Your responsibility now is to work even harder to let more people in, because when we all do well, we all do well.
We're people that believe in kindness, and we know that we often have to be well organized to deliver on that kindness. And so this is part of not just that we have beliefs and hopes and dreams and visions of a better world, but we have the knowledge that we have to get ourselves organized to help make that better world.
I think there is nothing more persuasive and more powerful than the human intention and the human honesty about the wake-up call, and that moment when I realized we are moved by each other. And we are inspired by each other. And often people ask me, where do you think change happens? How will we begin to get in the dinner? I always say change starts here. It starts in a conviction.
In order to stop the next pandemic, we have to stop destroying the environment, and we have to respect animal welfare. And we have to respect the habitats and the ecosystems.
If you need a signature on a piece of paper in this environment, you're no longer relevant. And so the new ecosystem that emerges for Bank 4.0 includes different types of organisations. The banks that have digitised and survived, the tech giants who own the technology layer, and specialist startups such as fintechs who have the intellectual property in terms of behaviours and experiences and other things like that around banking and money use that have been implemented from a technology perspective.
Having worked with the GABV,
I found a calm that I had been missing for a while.
And I knew this is a safe place.
There's a way for me to cope with the challenges that life can bring.
It really taught me, don't read the book cover.
I start my day differently than I ever did before.
Living in a developed country, we often forget how important it is to understand what the needs are for people in developing countries.
Money is a really important factor in making change.
How do we continue to support the small businesses?
I'm those people that needed help at one time with money, and I still need help.
It translates to my work at the GABV.
A lot of times we live in our bubble, not realizing what impact we could potentially have in the world.
It gave me a compass in terms of where do I need to go? What can I do?
You can really make things happen that you couldn't do on your own.
That's why that story is important to me. Be mindful and chill.
Let your heart be open to something very special.
Moving forward together.
To create a life story.
To find unconditional love for people, nature, and our own well-being.